Welcome to Rome. Is this a formal event or a social affair?
Hi, welcome back to Bangerz and Mash. We're back from the movies. We checked out John Wick Chapter 2. It came out on February 10th. We're a little behind on it.
Do enjoy your party.
How good to see you again so soon.
Basically, the beginning literally starts at the end of the first movie. John Wick, he's getting the car back that was stolen from him in the first, if you've seen it. Abram Tarasov says he killed his nephew and his brother during, like, I guess a bit of backstory they kind of give you. The Mustang John Wick is stealing back. It totally gets, like, fucked up.
Oh, it gets completely destroyed.
Almost destroyed, like in Destruction Derby style.
Yeah, like they just like smashed it for no reason.
Yeah, it was pretty sad. But he does say, "Oh, fix it."
Oh, yeah, it's like, I'll probably fix it by, Christmas.
It's like
2030.
Not repairable, but you still like fix it.
You have no idea what's coming.
You want a war?
So John Wick ends up going back to his house. It's seeming like the first movie was like a night.
Yeah, yeah.
And then he goes back home like the next day, but really no. So he goes back and he puts everything back in the chest that he like smashed the floor in his basement to get to, which was kind of cool because it was like, hey, it kind of like goes full circle, right?
Yeah.
And then he like goes and like cements it back closed, like, okay, I'll never touch this again type thing.
Yeah, sealing it all away.
And then the movie's plot is so thin. If we want to remain spoiler free, we can almost not talk about like 90% of the movie.
Yeah.
To leave it spoiler free, everything that we mentioned, in a way will not be
a spoiler, basically.
Yeah, we're gonna like try to keep it like as spoiler free.
As vague.
Yeah, as vague as possible.
Just to give you the gist of what the movie's about. Alright, so John Wick, he was actually able to retire by giving a marker or a blood oath to Santino D'Antonio. I don't even know those weird... D'Antonio. Seemingly if John Wick were to stay retired, his marker may have stayed unfulfilled. But by coming back in the first movie, he basically... the Santino guy ends up showing up with his request of John Wick.
Yeah, so like remaining spoiler free, all you can really talk about are the rules.
He basically broke a rule.
Yeah, so like if a blood oath is given, you can't deny it.
Yeah.
And then by denying it or running it, the holder of it can kill you. That's really all you can say without
spoiling
it.
Whoever comes, I'll kill them all.
So, yeah, the holder can kill the one who pledged it, and then fast forward, John Wick ends up in Rome.
Yeah.
Yeah, he enters the Continental, which actually sets up a funny part, saying, you're not here to kill the Pope, are you?
Yeah.
And then he just ends up getting his, key.
The man, the myth, the legend.
Rome has some pretty luxurious places for hitmen who hold hitman currency.
I don't even know what to call it.
I don't even know. It's like a weird currency.
Like it's just like this gold coin that like one gold coin can pay for like anything.
Yeah, it's your hitman currency.
You see him like paying for a drink with a hitman coin. You see him paying for a gun with guns.
Yeah. So he buys 2 bulletproof suits, new weapons, finds out more intel on the location. All of these are done in a very super classy way, though.
Oh, yeah.
Like, none of it feels greasy buying bulletproof stuff. Like,
no.
They're all, like, sizing him up and, like, he's getting a fucking tailored suit.
And when the way he talks about the weapons, he's like, here, what would you like for your entree or something?
Yeah.
What's for dessert?
Yeah.
How many buttons?
2.
And what style?
Tactical.
Yeah, so upon finishing what he's basically there to do,
Can't even say.
Yeah, I can't really say, and killed what seemed like 50 to 60 men. He ends up in a one-on-one confrontation with another hitman, and like crazy badass fight ensues. They basically beat the living hell out of each other all the way back to the Continental and through the front door window. And because you're not allowed to kill inside the Continental, if you remember from the first movie, basically, they basically just end up sitting down and having a drink like gentlemen, all talking shit to each other, but super classy, not really bad talking shit.
They're like, I'll make it quick when I kill you. It's
Yeah.
like, oh, same to you, you know.
I need you to do this task. I'm not that guy anymore. You're always that guy, John. I can't help you.
Having completed his blood oath, the manager of the New York Continental goes and talks to that Santino del Antonio. I don't know. And he ends up having him like sign the deed, and everything's done like with blood. So, you know, it's kind of cool in that sense. Now, without mentioning the next part, we have to if we didn't mention the next part, we pretty much have to just end it here, and it would be like really shitty. But
yeah, so I guess if you are worried about a minor spoiler, I guess we'll call it a minor spoiler. Santino basically opens a formal bounty contract on John Wick himself with a bounty of $7 million for anyone in New York who completes it.
And it doesn't, it's like 7 mil.
7 million seems a little low for someone like John Wick.
Saying like 70 million.
Yeah. So trying to keep it spoiler free. You'd be surprised how many hitmen there actually basically are in New York, which eventually lead to John Wick seeking help from once targeting himself, Lawrence Fishburne, basically.
Yeah.
John Wick. You're not very good at retiring.
I'm working on it.
Yeah.
By the name of Bowery King or Bowery King.
I couldn't even get his real name.
I couldn't really, it kind of felt like a weird Matrix kind of thing when they were both in the same room talking to each other. That was kind of cool.
They're like, John Wick, you are the one.
Yeah, basically. Anyways, he's leading an underground movement on every corner, dresses as seemingly like homeless people or basically people down on their luck. In reality, this allows him to have eyes and ears everywhere.
Yeah, so the same network ends up helping John Wick sneak up on San Antonio. Or
Santino.
I can't even say it right. Santino. And that's where we kind of have to end the review, because the whole movie is just guns blazing, right?
It's, very minimal plot, so that's pretty... I mean, if you can even gather from what we said, like...
Yeah, like, how much can you really say without saying, like, oh, he goes, you know... Like, he goes on a contract, and then he goes here, and then he goes there, and that's...
But he kind of violated some shit from the first one that he's dealing with.
Yeah.
I don't know. Well, you usually always go first, so we're going to see what you think.
Alright.
It's Bangerz and Mash.
Bangerz and Mash. After we watched it, it was like... The movie was actually too ultra-violent, even for me. It was like classy ultra-violent.
Classy ultra-violence,
He kept shooting people in the head, and normally, like...
Double tap.
1 or 2 is okay. Everyone was like...
Pop, 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 pop.
Even I was
Pop,
like,
pop.
oh my god, I'm like... You know... Not that I don't like ultra-violence. It was a video game feel.
Yeah.
Right? I give it about an 8 out of 10, you know, like the first John Wick. It scored a pretty high,
Yeah.
you know, with me.
So basically, that your pro is what?
Oh yeah, my pro, I like the backstory that it's given,
Okay.
right? I like the backstory of, like, how the hitmen have to abide by this code.
Yeah, the
right?
hitman aspect
Like
is
the
actually
hitman
really
code.
good.
Yeah, exactly. Like, John Wick is badass, but,
Yeah.
you know, like, when you're given such minimal plot...
Yeah, it's hard to work with.
Yeah, it's really hard to work. It's even harder to give a review on.
So you give it an 8 out of 10?
I do.
John will come for you.
Alright, so let's get down to the nitty gritty. I guess the pros. Yeah, it's a great action movie. Great action movie. A good Hitman movie too. I mean, it's what you felt the Hitman games kind of could have been, or not games, sorry, movies could have been or something. Maybe a little too much action.
Hitman versus John Wick.
Yeah, that's what we were discussing. Like it was a good movie. Like I can't really
give a bad.
Yeah, you can't really say anything. I mean, like I guess the real bad part about it was there were some long-winded action scenes. Like, oh my god, all of a sudden they bust out in a fight, and then like you kind of look at your watch and you're like, oh, 20 minutes has gone by and we still haven't progressed the story really any.
He just keeps dropping people, and
it
keeps your attention, but then it's kind of like, okay, it's been 20 minutes. Can we like now get back to the story? Like, yeah, but now what?
Yeah, that would be my only thing that kind of dings it down. I do give it a solid 7.5 out of 10. I did like it. I think the long-winded battle scene did kind of bring it down a little bit. Kind of did what if you've seen the second Matrix, it kind of did what that one did, where
John Wick literally spinned around on a pole, taking
out 100 agents,
kicking other hitmen's ass.
Noise complaint.
Noise complaint.
Yeah, no, honestly, do yourself a favor, watch this movie. Definitely better than some of the past crap we've seen, XXX, avoid those ones.
Yeah, you know what, I'd give this a better...
Way better.
Yeah, a better review than XXX, but less
If
less
you're gonna
story.
go to the theater and, you know, you don't want to watch La La Land or some shit like that we don't want to watch, go see John Wick. Don't see XXX if you want your action fill.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
Alright, this is Bangerz and Mash. Check us out on YouTube. Check us out on VidMe.
Yeah.
Facebook, Twitter.
Don't forget to like and subscribe. Keep tuning in.
Yeah, until then.
Guess next time, fuck off.
I kind of enjoyed that.